Hi, everybody. It's Joy,
And it's Tim.
and we are starting our Your AI Brew to Go podcast. And we are going to be talking about AI and marketing primarily. And we are going to be bringing you up to date on AI
So,
news.
well, the goal is to get those small businesses that have questions about AI to come to our podcast, learn a little bit how to make your business better with AI, and um, we're just gonna have a little fun. You'll get a little insight to what our office is like every day.
And I don't know if that's good or bad, but we read a lot of AI information. We read a lot of articles. We listen to podcasts. We really try to keep up to date on what's happening in the AI world. And that's not easy to do. That is a commitment. And so we decided that we wanted to share what would be pertinent to the small business owner. And that's why we're starting this podcast. And we are going to be having once a month meetings for the AI small business community. And we'll share more information about that in next week, actually. But this week, we are going to talk about organic content.
Right. Joy really got me onto watching this guy called Gary Vee. Highly recommend. He is I think pretty close to a marketing genius.
Agreed.
And one of the things that he talked about last week, and I said, Joy, I don't understand this at all, is organic marketing. I grew up, I've never marketed before. So, and Joy isn't, Joy's an expert on marketing. So I thought we'd start there. So, like, Joy, what is organic marketing and organic content?
Well, and the reason why this is so important is people just rush out and they buy ads and they're hoping for all these leads. But how do you know what someone is interested in if you don't have organic content? So, organic content is content that you create that you don't pay for. And it's a great foundation to your marketing strategy. And the reason why it's so important is you should be doing a variety of organic content. You should be doing videos, you should be doing sharing articles, you should be creating posts, you should be doing as many things as you can to get a feel for what your audience wants to see and hear. And that's why organic content is so important. I mean, Gary Vee hammers it home, and I really buy into his philosophy because I tell anybody, I get asked a lot, do you do ads? Well, kind of, because I won't do an ad if you don't have an organic presence, because you really don't know what your audience wants if you don't have a strong organic presence.
I think it really hits home now. Back when we were younger, television was everything. And I think of the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl was charging millions and millions of dollars because you had a captive audience. But now with streaming services and et cetera, I think those captive audiences are pretty much gone now, right?
Well, and this is what I love about what Gary Vee says, and I really buy into this wholeheartedly. He said people um, live in the past in terms of marketing. So, TV commercials, yellow pages, even though they're not around, they are comfortable with the old ways of marketing. They are infatuated, or I'm not sure the word he uses, but they glorify the future, but they don't live in the present. They don't take the data that's available and do marketing in the present. And the data that's available is people are on their phone, people are on social media. I mean, statistically, I think it's 2.5 hours a day people are on social media. And yet, so many companies do television commercials. I can't tell you the number of companies that advertise in the old ways, but things have changed so much that if you're not in the here and now and where people are at, you're missing a piece of the pie, a big piece of the pie. And I'm talking about the audience pie. So that's why we wanted to talk about, what's the foundational piece, and organic content is the foundational piece.
So one of the things that I always would question during the time when he was saying, what would you think would be good goals for a small business to have in organic marketing, and some of the platforms that maybe they should use?
Well, and this is the great thing about AI is you can find out what your audience is interested in by just doing a little bit of work. So I would say one of the benefits of organic content is staying top of mind. You're making a connection, not from what somebody else is doing, but from what you're doing. So you want to humanize your marketing, show your warts and all, as we say, which we do. I hardly edit any of the videos that we do or the Instagram posts because, I want people to see all the sides of me. Yes, I can do a professional video or a professional post, but the reality is we work really hard to have a consistent voice on social media. But the great thing, to get back to your question, is who's your audience? Who are you trying to reach? And then your platform determines who your audience is. And I did a really cool thing on the way home from the gym yesterday. I've been using the voice chat GPT, and literally I created a content calendar on my drive from the gym to back home. I put on chat GPT and I said, please create me a content calendar. I want to be on Instagram every day. I want to be on YouTube 3 times a day. I want to be on TikTok 3 times a day. And I want to be on LinkedIn 4 times, not a day, a week. I'm sorry, a week. So create me a content calendar. And I only want to work on content from 9 to 11 and put it in outline form. Then I took it a step further and I said, give me 25 ideas for Instagram so I have a good idea of what to post every day. Gave me that. I put that in a table in an outline. Then I asked for images based on those ideas. I did that in less than 3 miles. So there's so many benefits of having an organic content platform because you're humanizing your business, you're creating engagement, and you're starting a conversation. And that's how sales happens, is when you start a conversation. We all know that.
Well, I think one of the things you said, and I want to emphasize with it, is it doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect, and it shouldn't be perfect.
Well, that's a good point, because I think sometimes we, as content creators like Joy and I are, we used to be worried about, I'll speak for myself. I used to be worried that I wanted everything to be perfect, So when I did a video, I would do 8 or 9 versions of it, trying to make it perfect. And in the wise words of my old football coach, it ain't going to happen. Nothing's going to be perfect. You're always going to try to find, I think you have to find what Joy likes to call the sweet spot, where it is you and they're seeing you and your message is getting across.
Well, I was listening to, I think it was a couple ladies that were interviewing Gary Vee. It was a YouTube video I was watching, and they were talking about a 60-year-old guy that just hated his videos, so he wouldn't post them. And I'm thinking, well, that's us. And I don't care, because the experience I've gained in my work life is the asset that I bring to the table. So I don't have the perfect hair. I don't have the perfect body. I don't have the perfect makeup. But what I do have is experience. And for business owners, they need to be able to put themselves out there and say, look, I'm not perfect, but I'm going to do the best job that I can. And showing that side is going to give you so much engagement. And then that's how you create an ad, and that's how you start your marketing campaign. But to bring the conversation back home is, if you don't have organic content, then you're starting at a deficit because you're just guessing on what your audience wants to hear, or you're determining what your audience wants to hear. And both of those is not a successful way to market your business. You need to know what they want to hear, and you need to deliver it to them. And we're doing a bunch of different things to try to understand and hear back from our audience on what they want to hear, and then we're going to give it to them. I mean, it's an ongoing process because marketing is changing all the time, and AI has just compounded that to the nth degree.
So what would you say maybe are the 3, 4, maybe even 5 things that are most important with organic content?
Well, I would say doing it is the most important. 2 is doing a variety of things. I mean, you write blogs for us every week. I try to do videos regularly, training videos and just short videos. We do posts, both of us post regularly. So, and I track the data. And what's interesting is, of course, videos get the most reach because people can listen while they drive, or watch and listen while they work out, or whenever they have a minute. But it's, in the beginning, it's just giving a smorgasbord of things to see what resonates with your audience, and then look at the data. The data will direct your path, is what I would say, because that's what we always look at.
Yep.
We say month after month, we're looking at our data, we're making decisions and changes and learning all the time. People will tell you what they want. You have to give it to them.
It's kind of like they'll tell you with their eyes.
Yes, great.
They will tell you with their eyes.
Yeah, great way to put it.
Do they stay on that post? Do they read the post? Do they stay for the video? Yeah. So would you say probably the most important part of a video or even a post is the first 3 seconds?
Yeah, totally. That's what Gary Vee says, in your thumbnail. And that's work. And we use AI to create our images, but there's a science to it, and there's an act to it. And we're going to talk about that
Yeah,
in the next one.
First of many podcasts.
This is first of many, and we just wanted to lay a foundation of, you hear organic content all the time. What does that really mean? It just means you're doing it for free. You're trying to start conversations, get engagement, put yourself out there. That's organic content, and you need to do that consistently, regularly, and you get better with it. However, the other part of this podcast is Tim's going to bring some of the latest news in AI. So what's hot?
Well, I think the number one thing that happened last week is during the annual Apple meeting, consortium, whatever you want to call it, they announced that ChatGPT, which is probably the leading AI large language model, is now going to be available on the Apple platform. So on your iPads, on your Apple phones, I think it's going to revolutionize everything. Apple users are, and I'm one of them, we are biased and we love our apples. And I think this is huge because it's going to convert some people who aren't so Apple loving, Joy, as some of us who are, maybe convert them over to another platform. I think that this is huge news for AI. It's going to add a whole new audience. It's going to make it ChatGPT and all the large language models, because the other ones will follow. The Claudes, the Geminis will follow, to make it better for us. And we have learned that AI is better when more people use it.
That's true.
And that's how it learns.
Well, I know. And I listened to a video about the improvements with Apple incorporating ChatGPT. And for the first time, I think, in my life, I have said I will consider buying an Apple product. And the only reason why I said that is because, and pains me to say it, and the only reason why I said it is because I'm such a ChatGPT user. I mean, literally, I am on it all day, every day. And to be able to have it incorporated into my phone is just going to make me more productive and efficient. And that was a savvy business move.
It was huge. I think it's huge. I think it's going to grow AI even further. And I mean, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to doing this each week. This is going to be fun. Watch us each week. It's your AI to go, your AI brew to go. We'll do this each week. You'll just get a little insight of what Joy and I do every day. It's going to be fun, and we'll have more announcements about like our in-person events. So thanks so much for joining us today. Any last words, Joy?
Next week, real quick, we're going to talk about how you created organic content in the past and how you can create organic content now with AI.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. So,
all right. Well, we'll see you next week. Follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us on Facebook. And visit our store, youraiwizards.com and youraibusinessstore.com. Have a good week. We'll see you next week.